I want to come out here. I want to go, hell yes, Josh Jacobs, our most drafted running back. Kenneth Walker, our second most drafted running back. Today's a day to celebrate. Trust me, I want to have a party. But how are we supposed to? Breece Hall, DK Metcalf, Mike, so many significant injuries that we have to talk about. So we have a lot to get into this video. We're going to try to keep this intro short. But of course, before we dive into it, go down there, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you play fantasy football. And what I really need from you is to go down there to the comment section and let me know what your current fantasy football record is. Now, trust me, I get it. I know you play in a ton of leagues. I play in almost 50 fantasy football leagues, not including our 700 best small teams. But you know, everybody has their favorite league, whether it's the league with your high school buddies or the league that has the highest buy-in. Let me know what your record is in your favorite fantasy football league down there in the comment section, not the live chat of the video premiere, just so everybody can see how the flock is doing. Outside of that, we have one other thing, and that is you need to go take advantage of the over on Jacoby Myers at 49.5 receiving yards in a beautiful matchup going up against the Chicago Bears. Of course, you can find this player prop over there on Underdog Fantasy, along with so many more. And when you sign up for Underdog and use promo code FLOCK, they will match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100 with the link in the comment section, the link in the description of the video. And you may have a 100x player prop, a boosted pick coming your way if you opt into a battle royale draft. But that should be it. Let's go through. Let's dive into these lessons learned. Before we talk into anything too surprising, hell, can we just give a quick shout out to Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes are pretty good quarterbacks. I don't think there are too many lessons to be taken away outside of we want players, we want wide receivers in elite level offenses. You had Mahomes coming out 423 passing yards. You had Burrow coming out with 481. Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins all have themselves today. Juju, MVS, Kelsey all have themselves. You want good quarterbacks, you want pass catchers in prolific offenses, okay? I think that can be very brief for the recap we have of those two situations. I just know the comment section will be filled up with questions if we didn't just at least bring them up. But now going over to our next lesson learned, you can't start anybody for the Denver Broncos at the running back position. I mean, with the Denver Broncos here, I know we can sit here and say, well, Mason, it was a tough matchup going up against the Jets. Well, Mason, we had very bad quarterback play. Well, in reality, hell, they're going to probably have not great quarterback play any given week this year. I mean, I don't think you're that excited about Russell Wilson coming back. What I'm very concerned about is the fact that this is a backfield where Melvin Gordon sees 40 snaps out of 79. So Melvin Gordon sees exactly 50% of the snaps. You get Latavius Murray involved. You get Mike Boone involved. You get Andrew Beck involved. You have a lot of different players taking snaps here in this backfield. Melvin Gordon sees the most carries with 11, and 100%. You can be an effective running back. You can be someone we're looking to start in fantasy if you have 50% of the snaps in your backfield. But what do we need to see for you to be that effective player while having 50% of the snaps in your backfield? What we need to see is an offense that is elite. We need to see an offense that is going to be putting up a serious amount of points on the board. You just simply don't have that here. So I don't think we need to waste our time and really talk too much about the Denver Broncos running backs. I think you can start Melvin Gordon as a low-end running back too during bye weeks if you have to, but you're not going to be that excited about it. Now, going over to our next lesson learned, Giselle needs to suck it up, and I don't care what they're dealing with their personal lives. She needs to get back with Brady. I mean, why are we having to deal? Why are we having to take the consequences of their relationship? Brady coming out on the field and doing absolutely nothing here. They were 13.5 point favorites against the Carolina Panthers. 13.5 point favorites. They managed to get smoked. This is never a competitive game. Now, from a raw points perspective, we talked about this past week where you should be very concerned about Brady if you're a Bucs fan. If we are looking at the actual probability of the Bucs making any type of run in the playoffs here, In reality, if Brady's going to throw the ball for 49 times a game, if he's going to go over 50 passing attempts over the past few weeks, you can still get Mike Evans and Chris Godwin as somewhat productive players just because they're seeing 13 and 15 snaps in an individual contest. I don't want to say this out loud because, of course, if you've ever said this out loud over the past decade, you are literally just going to be the laughing stock of the internet. Everybody can rightfully point at you and go, ha, 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 look at that idiot. I don't know. It looks like Brady's maybe falling off here. Looks like it's safe to say that this is not the same Brady we once knew and loved. But now going over to our next lesson learned, our number one buy low running back over the past month, since we are no longer able to go out there and get our guy Breece Hall as a buy low player, has been Travis Etienne, and hell, let's flex on everyone here. I mean, we had a lot of people following us with buying Breece Hall back in week 1, back in weeks 2, 3. Well, maybe that didn't work out after all, but hopefully this Travis Etienne call, as we've been buying him low for the past month, looks like he's fully taken over as the starting running back here in Jacksonville. If we're looking at the snaps, Travis Etienne, 57 snaps, James Robinson, 12. If we're looking at the touches, Travis Etienne, 14 carries. James Robinson, I mean, I don't know if ESPN is broken here. I don't know if this is a glitch. 0. If we're looking at the usage in the receiving game, obviously, Travis Etienne's the guy you want. I mean, Etienne didn't have a great day from a raw points perspective as a pass catcher, but you had the 5 targets, exactly what you're looking for. Wheels up with Travis Etienne, probably one of the biggest risers of the week. But now going over to our next lesson learned, very similar to Denver, and I know most people are going to have the exact opposite takeaway than me. I don't care. You can't start any running backs in Baltimore. Now, I know most people are going to go down there to the comment section and say, Mason, you clown. Did you not just see what you ended up having from Gus Edwards? And yes, Gus Edwards. Great day from a fantasy points perspective. The man almost drops 20 points. He has 16 carries. He has 66 rushing yards, and he has multiple rushing touchdowns go along with this. But is this predictive going forward? That's the real question we have. I would argue no. You had 23 snaps played from Gus Edwards. You had 20 snaps played from Justice Hill. You had 17 snaps played from Kenyon Drake. Patrick Hart, I don't really care. I don't think we count him. But anyway, out of the 64 potential snaps, Gus Edwards plays 23 of them. I'm no mathematician, but that looks like it's about a third. I don't want to be playing a running back that's going to be having less than 50% of the snaps, specifically when he is never going to catch the ball out of the backfield. Now, given the fact this is a very good offense in Baltimore, maybe he does expand his role slightly. Non-PPR format, I'm fine with Gus Edwards. But specifically in a PPR league, when you are going to be getting 0 receptions, that's a spot where I think we go through. I think we probably look to pick him up off our waiver wire, but immediately look to sell him high. If someone thinks he's a locked and loaded starter going forward every week, I would be very hesitant in saying so. But now let's go over to our next lesson learned. I mean, one of these weeks, right? One of these weeks, I have to throw in the towel. I don't know when it's going to come. Smart people threw in the towel after the first 2 or 3 weeks. But, I mean, I'm dumb enough to continue to, for whatever reason, assume Kyle Pitts is eventually going to change his ways, is going to maybe be in a different offense where Marcus Mariota actually throws the ball for 30 times a game. If you were looking at games where Mariota has had over 30 passing attempts so far this season, 1. That was week 1. Since week 2, 26, 20, 19, 25, 14, 13 attempts. Marcus Mariota has more games with less than 10 completions than games with 20 completions. I apologize sincerely for not only everybody who I told to draft Kyle Pitts coming into the season, We should have known that this was going to be the situation in Atlanta, and I need to take a massive L here. But not only do I owe everybody an apology for who we told to draft Kyle Pitts coming into this season, I sincerely owe you a massive apology if I told you to go through and start Kyle Pitts over the past month. I don't know why I've still been starting him. I don't know why. I mean, I was telling people this week, literally week 7, I was telling people to play him over David Njoku. Laughably bad on my part. There's no passing volume in Atlanta. I mean, I think that if I ever tell you to play Kyle Pitts again, what you need to do is you need to probably unsubscribe to the channel, laugh at me nonstop in the comment section, and tell me that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Now, our next lesson learned is Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. They need weapons. I mean, they desperately need their guys back. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown leaving early. You had no DeAndre Swift. You had no DJ Chark. You had no Jameson Williams as well. I mean, this team needs their weapons back because right now it is ugly. This past week, Jared Goff, hell, honestly, I mean, I'm kind of shocked to see the box score here where he goes 21 for 26, 228 passing yards, no passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Obviously, a very tough matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. It was a very tough matchup against the New England Patriots a few weeks back. You just need these weapons back. I think there should be a happy medium between how bad Goff and the Detroit Lions have been over the past 2 weeks and how they were through the first month of the season. But now going over to our next lesson learned, you know we have to save this till the very end. Josh Jacobs, I drafted over 700 teams on Underdog this year. And I know you're tired of hearing me talk about this, but so many people laughed at us. So many people called me a fish. So many people said we didn't know what we were doing for drafting Josh Jacobs as our most drafted guy in the 7th round. Most drafted player in fantasy comes out, crushes yet again. 20 carries, 143 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns as well. If you're looking at the snaps, you had 45 snaps for Josh Jacobs out of potential 56. Into the game doesn't really matter here. Obviously, it was just a complete blowout that is super hard to take anything away from. Still getting involved as a pass catcher as well. I mean, the man saw 4 targets out of the backfield to go along with this. Josh Jacobs looks like he's a league-winning player. He's like a month older than Najee Harris. He has the role as a pass catcher. He's been great as a rusher. Still incredibly young, already through his bye week as well. So many reasons to be excited about Josh Jacobs, and I think him and our second most drafted running back in fantasy this year, Kenneth Walker, are going to win us a decent amount of money. Walker, everybody was all in on Rashad Penny. We said, hell, look at the Rashad Penny injury history. Give me the younger guy. Give me the more athletic guy. Give me the guy they just invested into. We'll go Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker this past week, 23 carries, 168 rushing yards, multiple rush touchdowns go along. I just got to flex on everyone here. Coming into the week, I want to say we had the best results out of all of Best Ball Mania with over 450,000 teams drafted. We drafted 150, and oh my gosh. In our 12-team leagues, out of those 150 leagues, 51 of them we were first or second place in. Out of the 450,000 teams drafted in the entire tournament, we had 3 teams inside the top 500. The best results you were going to find from literally anybody. And if anybody could say otherwise, I would love for you to prove it to me. And honestly, with Jacobs and Kenneth Walker crushing this week, it's only going to get better. I'm recording this right before the Miami Dolphins game. Prayers up that our guy Jalen Waddle, our most drafted wide receiver, has a good one as well, because the last lesson learned before we get to the injuries should be that we're winning a lot of money this year, and I am very excited about it. But now our last thing we need to talk about, going to be the injuries here. I don't want to spend too much time. Like I said, I'm recording this Sunday night right before the Dolphins play the Steelers, so there's still a lot up in the air. I don't want to just automatically assume that Breece Hall is a running back that's out for the season with the torn ACL, but reports right now saying Breece Hall dealing with an ACL injury. If this is the case, Michael Carter is going to be the number 1 priority pickup. Michael Carter will be a low-end RB1, high-end running back 2, given his usage as a pass catcher. We also have Reports coming out of Seattle that say the initial x-rays on DK Metcalf's knee were negative, and he is going to undergo further testing in Seattle. No idea what to expect with Metcalf. And then we're looking at Mike Williams as well, someone who looked like suffered a serious ankle injury. The second that we're getting Keenan back, good thing they have the bye week coming up. There are a lot of injuries we need to be on the lookout for. Of course, I'm going to keep you up to date with these injuries, with the guys to pick up to replace them, with buy low candidates, sell high guys later this week. So make sure you're just subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you can come out to our live streams that we do every single day. And also go take advantage of the Jacoby Myers player prop. I'm taking the over there in a great matchup against the Chicago Bears. And when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy and use promo code FLOG, they'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. You can find the link in the comment section, find the link in the description, available in damn near every single state. And on top of this, you may or may not have a 100x pick'em if you are in that Battle Royale draft on Underdog. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day and hope we get to see you in the live stream Monday night.